Wednesday was tied up in the killer's basement. This pervert was planning to make her his next victim. The reason Wednesday found herself in this predicament began 6 weeks earlier. Ever since she got her hands on her ancestor Goody's spellbook, Wednesday had been honing her psychic abilities and eventually mastered how to control it. So Wednesday turned her attention to something she had been obsessed with since she was 6 years old, finding the serial killer known as the Scalper. To use her psychic abilities to find him, she only needed to have things sneak into the police station and steal an item left behind by the killer. This bowling ball was left behind by the 11th victim. Wednesday held it in her hand and immediately concentrated her psychic powers. Soon, she located the Scalper. However, to reach the Scalper's location, she had to overcome a difficult obstacle. As the alarm sounded, Wednesday pulled out the brass knuckle she was carrying, but as security continued their inspection, the metal detectors sounded an alarm. Wednesday had no choice but to pull out various tools. Seeing that security was still watching her, Wednesday took off her shoes and pulled out a pair of nunchucks. But don't think the matter ended there, because her bag also contained thing. Looking at the thing that had been pulled out, Wednesday lied that she was going to a preservation conference and that it was just a fake hand. But what she didn't expect was that the real issue wasn't that at all. The security officer pulled out a bottle of sunscreen from her bag. It was clearly over 100 milliliters, meaning she was absolutely not allowed to carry it. After scolding Thing, Wednesday stuffed it back into her bag and successfully arrived at the town where Scalper was located. But just as she tried to subdue him, her psychic abilities hindered her actions. When she woke up again, Wednesday was tied up in the basement, with strange toys scattered around the dining table. Scalper pushed his tools over to her side and then took out a doll similar to Wednesday. It turned out that before each murder, Scalper would make a doll identical to the victim. But what he never dreamed of was that this time he had gotten himself into big trouble. "Let me show you some of my own handiwork." As soon as he finished speaking, the doll turned its head and opened its eyes. Immediately, Thing pounced forward, watching the pervert being knocked down. Thing grabbed his vital points. Under Scalper's terrified gaze, Thing jumped onto his head again and delivered a devastating blow. Seeing the tears on Wednesday's face, Thing grew concerned, but she explained it was merely a disruption in her psychic abilities and warned him not to tell anyone, especially her mother. Little did she know that this incident would lead to a severe crisis.